Okay, I'm going to start off by throwing these frozen blueberries in the oven because Paul Hollywood says be careful when baking with fresh fruit because the moisture will screw up your bake. So we bought this plant-based protein powder and it is terrible. Like one of the worst things I've ever tasted. The texture is, well, dirt. And it also has artificial sweetener in there, which I'm not a big fan of because some people think that a Diet Coke that has 0 calories is healthier than a fruit smoothie with 250. And I'm not going to call those people idiots because I'm a nice guy. But at any rate, I'm going to try and make this stuff edible. I was originally going to make blueberry biscuits, but I had almost no butter. And then I was going to make blueberry muffins, and I didn't have muffin tin wrapper things, whatever those are called. So I decided to make muffin batter and do it all as one batch. We've got equal parts here of this protein powder and self-rising flour, and that's just 1 cup each for those of you who were like needing specifics. And then I put in about a teaspoon of baking powder because the protein powder doesn't have any leavening in it. And then I used half a cup of sugar instead of a full cup because the protein powder is sweetened. A teaspoon of vanilla. I started off with a half a cup of milk. It wasn't quite enough. I probably got close to 3/4 of a cup here, and 1 egg. I also didn't have any oil. And of course, I didn't have butter, so I'm using mayonnaise here, which is a great substitute in baking, by the way, if you need to know. And it's emulsified, so it mixes really well with your milk, and it's not all weird. You know how when you mix oil and water-based things, they don't mix together, but since it's emulsified, it does. At any rate, it's now time to mix the wet ingredients with our dry ingredients and form our batter here. And, that's pretty straightforward. You just pour your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients and then fold it all in. At about this time, the blueberries should be done out of the oven, so we're going to get them out and fold them in as well. I am using what little butter I have to grease this pan that I'm going to cook these in, and we are almost ready to pop these in the oven. And as you can see, in the short amount of time that it took to preheat the oven and get all of our other ingredients ready, we've probably removed 2 or 3 tablespoons of liquid from these blueberries. We're just going to spoon these in, add the rest of the milk that I didn't know that I needed earlier, and gently fold these in. You're going to wind up popping a few, and your batter is going to wind up turning purple because berries. But at any rate, we're just mixing all this in until we get an even distribution of blueberries. When everything's mixed together, we're just going to move this into our greased cake pan and spread that out evenly. Our oven is preheated to 400 degrees, and we're going to cook this for about 25 minutes. The top should turn golden. You should be able to insert a toothpick into the center and pull it out relatively cleanly. And when they come out, be careful, it is hot, but I am going to run this butter knife around the edge of that and then just make my cuts to get them out of the pan. And the verdict is exponentially better than just having the protein powder as a shake or even mixing it with ice cream. I know a guy. However, nowhere near as good as just blueberry muffins. So if you're doing this thinking, hey, these will taste just like blueberry muffins, they won't. Still has that artificial sweetener taste to it that is disgusting, and it's just a little different. The texture is substantially better, though. I can't really tell that there's a texture issue here. They will keep leftovers for 3 or 4 days before they start getting, a little fuzzy and stuff. But if you can't eat all this, you're, obviously welcome to cut the recipe in half. So if you have some disgusting plant-based protein powder, this may be an option for you. Otherwise, I would just, replace it with flour and make good tasting food. Now it looks like I should probably hit the grocery store, but thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed.